Another day, another Rivals video. I would play another game, but I just don't want to. Dude, I woke up today so exhausted. And I'm not saying like I was just still groggy from sleep. I mean like I was physically exhausted. And I know I'm like out of shape, but I woke up this morning feeling like I just mud wrestled 5 Dagestani men all night. Okay, that was a little weird. But I woke up already exhausted and my cat Cleo was knocking stuff off the nightstand. A little while ago, she discovered a new method to wake me up whenever she wants. All she has to do is knock important things over. I'm trying to get it patched, but she's knocking stuff over, which usually means it's time to get fed. She has a pretty good internal clock. And I get up to feed her because it is the right time. And when I get back to my room, I discover that my other cat, Pablo, left a present for me at the foot of my bed. So after I've just served him his food, he comes into the room to look at his puke and watch me clean it up. I love my cats, man, but all I do is provide for them, and that's how they repay me. I took a break from feeding cats to feed humans the other day. I was door dashing. That's my job. But I had the single weirdest DoorDash delivery I'd ever done the other day. Everything about it was just strange. I picked up this order that was like $13 for 4 miles, which is really good in the DoorDash world. And it was just a normal order from this Chinese takeout place. And I get to the restaurant and the atmosphere was just really strange. And like all the Chinese restaurants in this area are like run by actual like Chinese people. But I get to the restaurant and the guy at the front is just like a really like paranoid looking like white dude. His eyes are like kind of wide like this, and he's just acting weird in a lot of ways. He asked me to read the order and like all the items on it to him, and I did it. And every time I said an item, he would just say it again, really confused. I'd be like, yeah, they have the beef fried rice, and he'd respond like, beef fried rice? I don't know, he just seemed like confused that he was working there, at least confused about the contents of the menu. But he went to the back for a few minutes and I didn't see anyone else in the restaurant, a worker or a customer. But I got the food and everything was fine, and I ended up going to the customer's house to drop off the delivery. And for me, when I get to someone's house for a delivery, the DoorDash app will read like any custom instructions to me before I get out of my car. It's pretty helpful, but this time it was like really strange. And of course it happened on the same order. First of all, this delivery was in one of the most private and richest neighborhoods I've ever delivered to. You ever just feel so financially out of place? Hey, I got player of the game. I just felt like I couldn't breathe the air in that neighborhood. But the houses were also like really far apart, and I was delivering to this house that was pretty disconnected from any other house. It was on a lot of land, and it had like a private driveway, and there was a bunch of trees everywhere. It looked kind of creepy. I definitely delivered to a lot of wealthy neighborhoods, but this one was like rich. But I get there and the custom instruction tells me to go to the guest house, which isn't that out of the ordinary. Like a lot of times people will tell me to go to the side door of their house, which I do. But after he told me to deliver to the guest house, the customer also said, don't ring the doorbell, which is also pretty standard. But then he said, when you're driving up, don't make a sound. When you're walking towards the guest house, don't make a sound. It won't be good. What does that mean? Usually people say like my dog will start barking or I don't want to wake up my baby. All this guy said was it won't be good after giving me like a riddle about keeping quiet. And I definitely butchered the wording. The wording was like way more creepy, but I just don't remember it. So I'm sitting in my car and listening to these instructions and I really don't believe what I'm hearing. So I read it and yeah, that's what it said. And at this point I'm a little like terrified. I think I'm gonna end up like hunting game. I think I'm gonna end up in the hands of some Dexter villain, but I listened to the message. I obeyed the instructions and I didn't make a sound. I tiptoed through wearing my Crocs. I hoped that there wasn't like a twig on the ground that was gonna rat me out. I placed the food at the door of the guest house. I took my picture and I tiptoed back to my car and closed the door ever so slightly, and I drove away. The guy actually added a tip after the fact, so really it was like $18 for 4 miles. So like that was pretty cool. I think the message that I was supposed to learn from this is to stop being a coward and maybe opportunities will open for me. Or maybe I just have to stop doing DoorDash. I'd like to. You can't tell me it didn't sound like I was about to get butchered. It won't be good. What does that mean?